Welcome guys, my second YouTube video. Still a little bit awkward in front of the camera, but I think I'm getting a little bit better. Obviously now I am a YouTuber, I've bought myself a little microphone. I noticed that I was probably a little bit nasally, probably down to having a big nose, but I thought if I buy a microphone, one, I'll look more professional, and two, hopefully I don't sound so nasally. I'm just looking at my laptop, guys, which is behind the phone. I would like to say thanks, and I'm laughing because I do find this a little bit amusing in a funny way, but thanks to the 26 people that have subscribed to my channel already. I still don't know where to look on the camera. Do I look straight ahead? Do I look into the little thing in the corner? So you'll probably find that I'm all over the place. I'm not stoned or anything like that. Obviously out in Dubai, you're not allowed to do that. So, yeah, so 26 subscribers and 219 views in 2 days. So to some people, that will be quite pathetic. To me, I'm actually blown away by it. When it went live, I was watching on the channel, and when it went live after about an hour, I had no views and no subscribers, and I just thought, oh, you know what? But I woke up the next day, and obviously I've been monitoring it sparsely since then, and yeah, so I'm up to 26 subscribers and 219 views. If you haven't subscribed and you're watching this, first of all, make sure you watch the first video. Make sure you do subscribe, you do share, like, and also leave a comment. So, but I wanted to do a second video based on why I'm here. So a little bit of background of the work that I had to put in, the decisions that I had to make, and the sacrifices that I had to make. So it's just going to be me, and obviously, I mean, it's always just me and the camera anyway in my YouTube videos, but I'm literally just going to be sitting here. So I'm going to try and keep it as short as possible, but I also want to try and give you as much information as I can. So hopefully I don't bore you too much. I've done a little list, so that's why I keep looking down. I've got a terrible memory, so that's why I've done the list. So anyway, long story short, so when I was young, early 20s, I always wanted to live abroad, or travel the world, experience new cultures, etc, etc. Obviously life happens. I've found myself in a very good job, very good corporate job, which I'm grateful for. It's probably one of the reasons why I'm here today. I had children, which is definitely one of the reasons why I am here today. Again, without going into detail, but when I was young, probably like a lot of us, we wasn't, or I certainly wasn't, that well behaved. So they set me on the straight and narrow. They made me grow up quite quickly. I absolutely love them to bits, and miss them, you know. So I'm not going to get emotional, so don't panic. I'm not going to cry, but I do actually, I miss my kids, I miss my family, which will shock them because I always tell them that I don't miss nothing and I don't miss no one, but I do, I actually do. So, and they're probably the only people that have subscribed to the channel. So anyway, so yeah, many years ago I wanted to move abroad, live in different countries, experience different cultures. Long story short, worked in corporate, and then decided to retrain. For those that don't know, I'm a sports therapist and online fitness coach. I ran my own clinic back in the UK, and my own online fitness coach, or my own online fitness business. Also guys, I'm not cutting this, I'm leaving it raw. And the reason why I'm leaving it raw is because the last video was about 6 minutes long, and I sent my poor editor Molly, who is an absolute godsend. I must have sent her, I don't know how many clips, and she managed to create the work that she did with the shoddiness of what I sent over to her. So I'm just going to try and keep this nice and raw, and I'm going to try and keep it as flowy as possible. Anyway, I'm waffling already. I'm 5 minutes in, I haven't even started. So probably about, I would say 14 months ago, I finally made the decision that enough was enough and I was going to pursue my dream. What I done initially was I obviously told the family, my parents, my brother, my children, my sister-in-law. Some of them was ecstatic at the fact that I was leaving and I wouldn't be there to get on their nerves anymore. And I don't think many were actually that upset. I'm joking. So that was the first thing. Obviously making the decision, telling the family. Without sounding too cliche-y, if that's the right word, but what I would say is if you do have a dream in your life and you are in a position to pursue that dream, which I found myself in that position 12, 14 months ago. Life's too short, you only live once. I don't know if I heard the saying or whether I've made this up myself. If I made it up myself, then I'm quite pleased with myself. But it goes along the lines of something like, if my life book read the same on every page, by the time I died, I'd be very disappointed. So there's my words of wisdom for you today. So initially I told the parents, the family, etc., etc. I then put my property on the market. Again, very fortunate. I own my own property, and I had a lot of money within that property as well. So I was very fortunate. So the property went on the market. Car went up for sale, which I was absolutely gutted about. I love my car to bits, but again, it's a sacrifice that you have to make. Whilst those wheels were in motion, I then started to think, where do I want to go and why do I want to go wherever I decide to go? So I decided on Dubai. The reason why I decided on Dubai is, first of all, the weather. I'm obviously from the UK. The weather in the UK is terrible for, I would say, 48 weeks of the year. It's always raining, it's always windy, it's always cold. Dubai is always hot. It's ridiculously hot at the moment. I think today it's about 40, and apparently we are, I mean, it's the 18th of June today, July, sorry. It gets worse in August. I say it gets worse, it gets hotter in August. So we'll see. But so one of the reasons was, you know, Dubai's weather is very nice. The crime rate out here, obviously there is crime like there is everywhere in the world, but compared to where I'm from, the UK, it's crazy safe. I don't wear watches, but you can wear watches out here and not worry about getting mugged. You can walk down the street on your phone and not worry about getting mugged. So that was another reason. It's tax free as well. You pay tax out here on your purchases from the shop, from retailers and stuff like that, just like you do in the UK. But in terms of on your salary, you don't. And even if you do, the threshold is, I think, and I might need correcting here, but I think it's about £900,000. So you don't pay tax until you earn £900,000. And then when you earn £900,000, anything after that, you pay 6% corporate tax. I think that's how it works. I have got a consultation with a tax man next week or the week after. Not that I'm going to be earning £900,000, but it comes free with the visa that I'm paying for as well. So So I could be wrong there, but you don't pay tax unless you're earning loads and loads of money out here, and when you do pay tax, it's not a lot. So anyway, not just that, the opportunities out here. Everyone wants to, genuinely, everyone wants to help you as well, which is nice. So that's another reason as well. So I made the decision to move to Dubai. Whilst my property and my car were up for sale, they were on the market, I then started contacting visa companies out here, which I recommend you do whether you're moving to Dubai or anywhere else in the world. And I recommend you take their advice on board, unlike I did. But what I done was I contacted 3 different companies, and then when I moved out here, out of those 3, I picked 2 that I wanted to continue with. I then had meetings with them, and we went into a bit more detail about the visa process, what was required. I'm not here as a freelancer, I'm here as a business owner. So it's cost me a little bit more money. It's taken a little bit more time. So I arrived on the 3rd of June. We are on the 18th of July, and my visa got granted today. So that's how long it's taken. But like I say, if you come out here and you're employed by someone, then 1, I don't think you pay for your visa. 2, the process is a lot smoother. And 3, it's not as lengthy. So I approached visa companies whilst I was in the UK. Whilst I was in the UK, I moved back to my parents for the last 3 weeks as well. Whilst I was there, obviously, by then I'd sold my property, I'd sold my car. I arranged for a hotel to stay in. So when I moved out here initially, I stayed in the Premier Inn for 3 weeks, which is absolutely fine. Whilst I was there in the hotel, I was still having visa meetings. My visa, just to give you guys an idea of cost, obviously I've just told you how long it took to get. It's cost me in total £5,600. So a lot of money. I've got like I say, a slightly different visa to what a lot of people have got. So I don't have to renew it after 12 months. Mine rolls on a little bit longer, which is probably why it costs a little bit more. Plus I'm a business owner as well. But yeah, so to give you an idea of the cost of my visa, it was £5,600. I had some special add-ons on top of that as well. So when you move to Dubai, or you look to move here on a more permanent basis, you have to have biometric meetings, you have to go for medical tests where they take bloods, x-rays, etc, etc. So there's obviously that add-on cost as well. I got chauffeur driven to my appointments, not because I think I'm a baller in any way, shape or form. I wasn't picked up in a G-Wagon or a limousine, although the car was very nice and the driver, Roberto, is a very nice man. And he's helping me out with a couple of other things. But it was just easier to be picked up and taken there and brought back. And because he knows the people there, I was literally fast-tracked in, fast-tracked out. So, you know, my blood test, my x-ray, I was in and back to my apartment within the hour. So whilst I stayed in the hotel, I hired a car, which I still have. It costs me at the moment £160 a week. Again, it's nothing flash. It's a Mitsubishi. It's an automatic, which I think most cars are out here anyway. And I think they call it an SRV or something like that. It's not a 4x4, but it's not a normal size one. Anyway, you didn't need to know that, but I've told you. So I've hired the car. Obviously, when I arrived, for me a priority is training. I've trained for 6-7 years in terms of weightlifting, and I've been training in jiu-jitsu now for just over 2 years as well. So a priority for me was to find local gyms where I could lift weights and then get beaten up by other men. Sounds a bit strange, but they were priorities for me. So I visited multiple gyms, TKMMA Fit, Binos, Well Fit, and I am currently rolling at 10th Planet. It's the only gym that I've done jiu-jitsu at in Dubai. And the reason behind that is it gives me a very similar feel to what Great Britain Top Team does, the gym that I rolled at in the UK. Very family orientated. There's lots of men that go there. I don't know why I keep mentioning men, but there's also lots of females that go there, and lots of kids as well. And the reason why I've brought that up is that's normally a good way of sussing out whether it's a good jiu-jitsu gym or a good MMA gym, if there's a good mixture. So anyway, I'll move on. So I found my gyms. While staying in the hotel, for me a priority was networking. Obviously I had established my business in the UK. I had a good reputation for what I'd done, and initially I thought I'd come over here, people would look at my Instagram, see who I've worked with in the past, and I'd be picking up bookings left and right. I was wrong. That did not happen. It has helped, don't get me wrong, but I have had to network a lot, which is quite nice, because obviously you're moving to a different country to meet new people. I am a very routine kind of guy. I like to do my own thing at my own times. So networking, meeting different types of people, from all walks of lives and backgrounds, has been very educational for me, I must say, very educational indeed. So definitely if you're looking to move abroad, then networking is definitely a priority. I then had to find an apartment, which I am now in, and I think I've been here for nearly 4 weeks. About 4 weeks. My next video will be a little bit of an apartment tour, and hopefully won't be as boring as this one, because we're 18 minutes in and I'm bored. So I'm going to wrap this up quite quickly. Since arriving, I also have been obviously growing my sports therapy and online coaching business, but I'm also starting up 2 other businesses as well. One of them is a jiu-jitsu brand, clothing brand. So spats, rash guards, shorts, etc. Maybe mouth guards, I'm not too sure. I'm speaking to a guy about that. And my other business, at the moment, I'm not going to talk about too much. It's top secret. It's not that top secret. There's a few people that know about it, but there's a lot of work that I need to put into that. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about that. So that is a very brief lowdown. Hopefully you've not fallen asleep. If you have fallen asleep, then when you do wake up, just make sure, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you share, comment and like the video, and I'll see you in the next.